Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome. My name is Lacy and this is my art channel. Today we're doing something a bit different than my usual content, in that we are going to do a squishy makeover. If you guys don't know what a squishy makeover is, it's basically where you take a toy that's a squishy and you paint it to give it a makeover, to make it look different. There's a very popular YouTuber, her name is Moriah Elizabeth, and she does content like this all the time. I've talked about her a few times on my channel as she's a big inspiration to me and the art that I do. I have made some squishies in some previous videos. I didn't do the squishy makeover, but I did create squishies. So if you want to check that out, I'll put it in the iCards above. If you notice here, this is my dog. He's just chilling here. His name is Oreo, and I think he's just like, what are you doing? It's kind of funny because I actually filmed this before. I forgot that I left my fan on, so it was making a lot of noise in the background, so I'm actually re-recording it, but I'll put a clip in here of my dog photobombing my last video because he was doing the same thing. I think because I'm pushed back from the desk, he's just like wanting to be beside me. Anyways, I'm going to show you some of the squishies that I actually bought to do future squishy makeovers. So if you like any of them, you should let me know in the comments below so I know that you like this content and that you want to see more of this content in the future. And I would love to know if you have any ideas for these 4 squishies that I'm about to show you. So first we have a little panda in a little costume. I actually like that he was in a costume because I thought it would be really cool to do like an animal in a costume. So that was why I picked this one out. Next, we have a little rabbit, we have a small cat holding an ice cream cone, and we have a little bear. So cute. I loved all of these. I thought they were like simplistic designs, so it'd be easy to make them into different animals. I do apologize for being away so long. I really didn't mean to be gone like an entire month. I think I might have mentioned it in the last video, but I went to the US to visit my family in July, and after that it was a little bit hard getting back into a routine, and then I've had a cold for like more than a week. And I actually didn't want to film this until after my cold was over, but it doesn't seem like it's leaving anytime soon. So if my voice is a little weird, that's why. I've coughed like a lot during this video. I'm just gonna kind of crop it out so it doesn't bother you. Yeah, my voice is just a little ragged, I guess. Okay, so I'm not gonna show the squishy that I did a makeover because I'm actually filming this after the fact. You'll see it just here in a second and we'll go over the design and everything. So I'm excited to show all of you. I hope that you like it, and let's get started. Okay, so first I'm going to sand down the squishy. This was actually a lot harder than it looked. It was difficult to know how much I should sand and how hard I should sand it. You're going to see that I accidentally ripped part of the squishy while I was trying to sand it, so be careful. After that, we're going to do a few adjustments, mainly just clipping off some parts of the squishy that we don't like. I did clip off the eyes and part of the snout that were like sticking out of the squishy, mainly because I wanted to create my own face without being influenced by the face that was already there. I also chopped off the whiskers and just cleaned up the seams of the squishy as well. Again, it was kind of hard to know how deep to cut, and it was easy to just accidentally cut a huge hole in the squishy, but luckily it wasn't too hard to fill in those parts with paint. After that, I realized I didn't have any kind of like fabric glue to hold the tail together, which I ripped during the sanding process, but luckily just putting glue around the tail did seal it and cause it to stay together. After prepping the squishy, I did a white base coat. Before creating this video, I did watch some other YouTubers like Bellamina and Graveyard Loon create their first squishy makeovers, and I saw that when they were first starting to create squishies, they sometimes used their fingers to spread the paint. I thought that was a bit odd, and I wondered why they didn't just use a paintbrush, but I quickly found out for myself that there was a problem using a paintbrush. It didn't really smooth the paint, but almost took the paint away, if that makes sense. It probably wouldn't have made sense to me except for that I tried it and it wasn't working. So because I was really determined to figure out why this was happening, I went back like really far into Moriah Elizabeth's videos to find out why. I finally found the answer. So basically Moriah Elizabeth says that using the slick fabric paint is hard to smooth because it's so thick, and it's easier to use the matte fabric paint. She also said that if you're using the slick fabric paint, that you may want to use a popsicle stick to smooth it, and so that's exactly what I did, and it did work a lot better. I also wanted to mention that she said that when you think your fabric paint is empty, cut the bottle in half and then you can get more paint out of it. And I tried that and it really did work, and it gave me like a good amount of more paint. So I did just want to mention that in case anyone else decides to replicate the process. It was a little bit frustrating because I was a bit sad that I couldn't really get a very smooth finish on my squishy because it was so thick and it was hard to spread. But that being said, I do like the way that the squishy comes out in the end. I feel like I did pretty good considering the circumstances. After I did the white base layer, when I tried to squish it, it somewhat like created an air bubble underneath the white paint. I think this probably means that I should have sanded it a bit more, but it was already too late. Moriah Elizabeth had also said that you can stick the squishy with a pin to allow the air to escape and allow the squishy to squish. So I did do that, but it didn't really fix my air bubble problem. I was afraid that it would mess up the entire squishy, but in the end it wasn't really a problem once I put the colored layers on top. After I did the white base layer, I decided on the colors and theme and I got started. So I did decide to do a watermelon theme for my cat. I just thought it was unique, and something that I kind of share with Moriah Elizabeth is my love of making animal related art and food related art, and I love to put those themes together. So I thought that was really cute, and I decided to turn the heart into a peach. From watching Moriah Elizabeth's past videos, I remembered her saying that the slick fabric paints dry a lot darker than they seem. I did hear her say that, but I didn't have that many colors to work with, and I kind of ran out of like white fabric paint after the base layer, so it wasn't really an option for me to lighten up the colors that I already had. Well, I wasn't 100% out of white paint. I had like one tiny bottle left, but I knew that I would need that for like the details later on, so I was stuck with what I had. I did want to mention that this is like a sped up, simplified version of the process that it takes to paint a squishy. There was a lot of painting that happened behind the scenes, as you really have to layer paint after paint to get a good solid finish. It's not that easy of a process, especially for a child, and I really recommend putting the squishy in front of a fan to help speed up the drying process, as you do have to do many layers. Even though this wasn't as simple as it looks when you watch other people do it, it was really fun, and in the end you can create your own unique character, which is fun. So I do recommend trying it if you're interested. Okay, so I hope that all of you liked the design, and I actually did just a little bit of detail after the video. I realized there was a few tweakings that needed to be done, so I'm gonna show you the final result, and I hope that you like it. So here it is. She's so cute. So I added like the stem and the leaf, and then I added like the little reflection in the eye, and then a nose. And I couldn't believe I forgot to give her a nose. That's just funny. But after that, I actually decided to paint the entire tail green because I thought without doing that, it didn't really look like a tail, just kind of looked like she had a lump for no reason. And I think maybe I could have just gotten rid of that white line, but I actually didn't have any more of the reddish pinkish color, so there was no editing that. But you know, I feel like I learned a lot in this, and she doesn't squish very well. Like the ears are fine, but it's like when I try to squish the whole body, she doesn't squish well. Like that's pretty much as far as I can go. You know, parts of her squish. But I'm not going to be doing much squishing. I'm going to put her up there beside that little unicorn squishmallow, which is just going to sit there. I thought we could name her Peaches because she's holding a peach. I thought that'd be cute, like a little cat name. I feel like I learned so much doing this process, and I look forward to trying some more with you guys. If you guys like this type of content, you guys should let me know what you think, and I look forward to seeing all of you in the next video. I've actually been working on like at least 2 videos while I was doing this one because this was a long process. A lot of drying that had to be done. So I hope to get out the next couple videos faster than it took me to do this one. So I will see you in the next video. Okay, goodbye now.